Hi, my name is Julie Greene. This is a series of videos called Eating Disorders Rescue. This is the introduction called My Dedication to You. Well, I was gonna launch right away into lesson 1, but first of all, I need to tell you who I am, because if I don't, you don't know who I am for a hole in the wall. I need to tell you my qualifications. For all you know, I could be someone who read a few books on anorexia and thinks she knows it all. No, not me. Or maybe I had anorexia for a year, went into treatment, it worked, I recovered, I have all the answers, anyone can do it, and if you can't, then there's something morally wrong with you. No, that's not what I'm going to say either. Okay, I'm going to quit joking around. I'm going to tell you just how dedicated I am to making these videos called Eating Disorders Rescue. Why rescue? Rescue means when you're drowning, I mean drowning, and someone throws you a life preserver, you grab onto it, and you hold on to it, and you don't let go. It's not often the mind that does this, but the body that has an incredible will of its own to survive. Please hold on to my words. We folks with eating disorders have seen time and time again our body's refusal to give up. So that's why a little piece of you is holding on to that life preserver right now. Okay, back to my qualifications. I have 33 plus years first-hand experience with anorexia. I've been there. I have experienced the same number of years first-hand experience with severe binge eating. I've been there. I do not have experience with self-induced vomiting because my body refuses to do that. As for laxatives and all that crap, hey, I'm 55. I know all the tricks. And, I know the feelings. To someone with an eating disorder, life ain't the same as it is for everyone else. That is, people without eating disorders. It's not just about the food. It's everything. It's not just mealtime. It's all the time. It's waking up in the morning. It's every thought in your head. It follows you everywhere. So I get it. I live that way too. So I totally get it. That's my #1 qualification. I know what I'm talking about. On to more. Go back a year. February 8th, 2012. I don't know if that's the exact date, but something like that. I show up at this treatment. I'm trying to make quotation marks, but it's not showing up on the camera. If you could call it that. Now, I know a lot of you that are watching, I know this so-called treatment does not work for you, and really I truly dedicate this to you especially, or treatment, isn't covered under this so-called insurance we have here. Anyway, the staff at Alcott, Walden Behavioral Care, shove crap food at me and tell me to eat. Earlier, when I showed up, they were surprised I wasn't in a coma. I overheard, somehow, the staff saying I was delirious and wandering around lost in the halls. I knew I had a choice. Basically, eat or die. I asked myself, why live? My family doesn't give a shit about me. I'm just some scum welfare case nobody cares about. But then, I looked around. Not the staff. They just kind of, monitoring us, and they just care about their paychecks. I looked around at my fellow patients. Maybe it's some of you that are watching right now. Starving people. Starving not only for food, but to be nourished in other ways too. These people needed me. Little old me. I had to do something. I had to do something to help them. I vowed that I would do this. And with that, at that moment, I picked up my fork and I lived. That's my second qualification. I followed through with my promise. I don't want to go into this with too much detail about this, because folks are watching from all over the world, not just Massachusetts. And it may seem very petty to you, but what I did was one of the greatest accomplishments of my life. Single-handedly, I won a human rights case against the Alcott unit and secured telephone privacy for the eating disorders patients. It took till nearly Christmas time because both the hospital and the state lost, again, quotation marks, let them show up on the camera, my paperwork repeatedly or deliberately resent old paperwork and tried to close the case. I persisted. Finally, they couldn't back out of it. They had to build the soundproofing around the phones. It's the law. Staff were no longer breathing down patients' necks while they talked on the phone. I've been thanked so many times by patients. Finally, I did something to help people with eating disorders. You, my people. But this is only the beginning. Other qualifications, and these are a bit less important. I'll say them real fast. Well, sort of fast. I've studied music education. I was a composer. I used to play trumpet and piano. I could sing a little. I did 4 months of practical nursing school. I have a bachelor's degree and a master's degree. That is an MFA in creative writing. Written a bunch of books, and I do memoir. Thankfully, I'm not a therapist. You can breathe a sigh of relief. So I'm not going to tell you a bunch of that stuff your therapist already told you that may or may not work. If it works, do it. Do it. Keep on doing it. But if it doesn't work, throw it out. Being a memoirist, many of my lessons will be taken from my own life experiences, including my hitchhiking adventures. I plan to set up a website for all these lessons so they can be organized and you can access all of them and it'll all be free of charge. I need to talk to my hosting people about the best setup. I want to learn how to do a really good PowerPoint presentation and be super organized. Now, about the real lesson 1, this having been my introduction. It's not going to be about food. It's or weight or eating or body image. I promise you I'm not going to pull out a bunch of charts or talk anything like a therapist. Breathe a sigh of relief about that. It's about a very ordinary activity that most humans do just about every day. People do this whether or not they have an eating disorder. Now the problem is, it goes astray. I'm going to talk about that. Because when you get it right, again, you make big strides with your ED. Now, how am I going to teach you this? The way I know best. I'm a memoirist, so I will talk about mentors I have known who have moved my spirit very deeply and personally in relation to this activity I have mentioned. It will take me a while to compose the lesson. Bear with me. Meanwhile, I'll be doing the lessons along with you. I need that life preserver too. My name is Julie Greene. Thanks a whole lot, guys.